Lite Iron Man. Jag har kört lite. Jag måste avleva. Om jag vill se de sakerna jag uppgradera och kan. Eller ja, det var på morgonen idag. Ja. Så är det de jag använder just nu. Fattar nu jag var kärringen. Vad fan?
Your armor's not rated for combat on this scale, sir.
You don't know me very well.
Hey, boss!
Gunsmith, stay off this channel!
Boss, before you left, I packed you a hot lunch. I call it the enabler.
My old Unibeam?
New and improved. Take a memo, Friday. That's how you want to fight.
Put a sock in it, Dunsmith.
Thanks for the stowaway, pal. Just a shame it's one and done.
Oh, ye of little faith. I added an ambient power collector to your chest piece. Harvests the energy given off when a drone goes boom.
So blow up bots to charge the Unibeam.
Circle of life, boss. Keep it going! Boss!
Boss there.
Unibeam is recharged. Fire at will, boss.
Suit health below optimal, but not critical.
Have a heart! I can get used to this. Nice work.
No surprise, I know what you need.
Got any more, Ghost?
Not in stock.
Maybe you should close up shop for the night. A well-earned beatdown?
The confidential files off your network. Wait a minute.
How rude.
Does the name Tim Shung mean anything?
Negative, sir. I'll look into it further.
Snart blir det så med till ljudet med fågelkvitter. Men redan nu kan du bläddra i vår nya katalog och drömma dig bort.
King Akim Jaffa, I believe you are the heir to the throne of the Munda. Yes, my son. I shall bring Queen Munda. He's supposed to be Prince of Wakanda. Wakanda is a fictional place. Not to everybody. I'm a king, I'm a king. What is wrong with that? How much child support you getting? King pays no child support. No child support for 30 years and you came back? You was a dummy. I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king. What is wrong with that? Let me take a seat.
Each had its own color. For example, if it was dark, then the person is old, and he will soon die or he is very ill. If it is yellow or orange, it means that everything is fine with it and it is young. Rather, it is a child or a teenager. This way, I could see through almost every. But then they also got used to it and kept it a secret from others. This gift helped me in society. When meeting people, I also felt who was good and who was bad, and I tried to avoid the latter, and also protected my parents from them. I even went to a school for the blind. By the way, I was not at all embarrassed by the status of a person with disability, because I am no worse than others, and as my mother says, on the contrary, I am special. Since then, many years have passed, and I have learned to live with my gift, among others. I've communicated, met people, and everything is fine. My mother made me promise that I would never reveal my secret, so that there would be no problems, and I agreed with her. Well, once my friends and I went for a walk. It was a sunny day. I loved to bask in the rays. While my friends went to choose a new perfume, I decided to wait for them on the street on a bench. Suddenly, I felt a negative energy. It was coming fast, very fast. I turned my head and noticed that a man was driving at breakneck speed. He was very bad. I felt that he was not sober. And then I heard that a child was running out to the road. It was a girl of 4 years old. Her mother was talking to someone on the side of the road and did not notice how her daughter was running towards the road. The driver saw the child, but he was so drunk that he couldn't even think to stop. I ran to the side of the road, grabbed the child, and pulled him to myself. The car flew past and didn't stop. His mother screamed all over the street. My glasses fell to the ground, and so did my wand for the blind. I was holding the baby in my arms when my friends came out. All the people froze. The mother took the child and began to thank me, and only then realized that I was blind. I saw the frozen questions on people's faces. They were all scared and shocked. Their energy was telling. I couldn't explain anything, so I said I wanted to go home. My friends didn't say a word on the way. They just took me home, kissed me, and left. I had to tell my mother everything. She praised me for my bravery, but now there was a problem, because now I had witnesses. My girlfriends told everyone else. Plus, passers-by took everything on camera. So fame was assured the next morning. My parents had to pay a tiny sum to keep it in the local press. They wanted me to live a quiet life. About 6 months later, we decided to move to another city, and the story remained a legend. I had to cut all ties with my friends, and my parents also with their friends, because now we have a new life. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that we're
Nu bjuder vi våra kunder på en timme el om dagen. Vi kallar det bonustimmen.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley and I'm 16 years old. Tell me, have your parents ever made you do something that you really didn't want to do?
Hi, I'm Ben, and I'm 16. I study in a small town high school, and this will be the story of an unusual teacher who once blew in. The thing is, she had a terrible secret, and it changed my Well, let me get this straight. It was in this way. Mrs. Schneider taught natural science at our school. She was sort of old-backed. My best friend Adam and I barely sat through her lessons. And considering that we didn't really like to study, it was a real help for us. So we started trolling poor Mrs. Schneider. Adam and I were prodigies at it. As a result, the teacher could not stand it and left the school. We were happy to win, but it wasn't long. During one lesson, the principal came to us and said, "Guys, instead of Mrs. Schneider who left us, we have a new teacher at our school. She will teach you natural science. Everybody meet Miss Murphy." And she came into the classroom. The new teacher was about 30 years old. She was pretty and would have seemed very ordinary, if not for one but. There was something strange about her. Maybe it was the look in her eyes or the way she spoke. We couldn't understand. Anyway, we realized that the easy life was over and Adam and I would have to put up with this tedious science again. So we decided to give Miss Murphy a present on the occasion of the first meeting and put a dead mouse in her bag. After our class, we made our way to the teacher's room while no one was there. Adam took the present out of his pocket and I opened her black bag. But what was it? We jumped back. "Ben, tell me you've seen it too," Adam said. "Yes, I saw it. In the bag of the new teacher lay a real human heart." Both of us were scared out of our wits, but we didn't have time to do anything else because we heard someone's footsteps in the corridor. We quickly hid under the table. Miss Murphy came into the teacher's room, and we recognized her by the shoes. "Do you think they'll like it?" she asked and immediately answered herself. "Yes, that's a good idea. We've been planning this for a long time." Who was she talking to? There was no one else in the room. Adam and I were both frightened and curious at the same time. When the teacher left, we jumped out of the hiding place and ran to the classroom. All of this was very strange. What was wrong with Miss Murphy? What's her problem? We decided to find out more about her. I started to search for the information in social networks, but I didn't discover anything special. She used to live in a neighboring state. She also worked at the similar school there. She had no family. She was fond of drawing and clay modeling, just like everyone else. But we felt that she was hiding something. Then Adam remembered that he had a cousin in this state. He could help us. My friend immediately called him, told him everything we had learned about the new teacher, and asked him to find out more about her. The cousin agreed to help, but said he would need some time. We would have to wait. In the meantime, we decided to observe a strange woman. The next day, we had a natural science class. Miss Murphy came into the classroom with the same bag. Adam and I were wary, but the teacher smiled.
You appear to have a phone call in the kitchen, sir.
Could be Pepper calling.
Who wants to do some clay modeling? Of course, the entire class agreed. The teacher gave everyone a package of polymer clay and said, "Guys, I am fond of modeling, and today we're going to sculpt this." With that,
Aha, det är en telefon.
Pepper,
the class gasped.
how you feeling?
But when we looked
Like I
closer,
fell out
we
of an
realized
airplane.
that the heart
You
was
sound
made
pretty
of
spry
clay,
for that.
But it was
Well,
so realistic
someone
that
broke
it
my
didn't
fall.
differ from the
Did you
real
get a
one.
name?
I
No,
immediately
but he was
wanted to
quite
make the
dashing.
same, and
Sharp
my friend
suit,
too.
strong
We were
jaw.
happy to dive
He's on
into
the
it.
phone,
It
you
didn't work out
Is
very
that
well the
Gunsmith?
first time.
Oh,
But
hey,
the teacher showed us the
how's
heart
the hospital?
structure
What kind of
and
drugs
helped
are they
us
giving?
sculpt
Hang
it.
up
Between
immediately.
times, she told
Boss,
us
when
that
you're
she
done
liked to
canoodling,
make
you should
different
check
things
out
out of clay. This helped us to learn
I'm
more
sorry,
about
sir.
anatomy.
I told him you were not to be disturbed. Where did he come from? The ninth circle of hell, I'm afraid.
Could everyone just give us a minute, please?
Of course, sir. Good to hear you're in fine fettle again, Miss Potts. Thanks, Friday. Take care. The gunsmith, Tony? What were you thinking?
2 Tonys are better than 1?
You really should have gotten a second opinion on that.
Yeah, well, my second opinion was undergoing a brain scan at the time.
Speaking of which, I should rest. Be safe. And don't let your worst habit torture Friday.
So we decided to follow her. After school, we waited for her to come out of the school, but she still wasn't there. Then Adam offered to go back and find the teacher. We snuck into the empty school. To be honest, it was a little creepy walking through the empty halls knowing that Miss Murphy was somewhere here. And then I saw something just out of the corner of my eye, but it scared me. We looked into the teacher's room and were flabbergasted. Right in front of us, in the semi-darkness, was a man who had no skin. We broke into a run like a bat out of hell, and we burned weren't up the road all the way home. We decided not to tell anyone what we saw yet, until we would figure it out for ourselves. The next day, we had a natural science class again. Miss Murphy came wearing a long raincoat. She told us that today we would continue to study anatomy. At these words, she threw off her cloak, and we gasped again. The teacher was wearing a tight suit with a pattern of human organs. Adam and I looked at each other. So that's what we had seen last night? We're just idiots. The teacher climbed onto a table and began to show us the structure of the human body. This was another awesome creative lesson. So it became much more convenient and fun to study anatomy. I shared my thoughts with Adam, but my friend shrugged his shoulders. Cool, of course, but I still don't understand why we need this natural science at all. How will it be useful in life? Miss Murphy heard him and smiled strangely. She said, "One day, Adam, science will save your life. You'll see." What did she mean by that? I was curious. The teacher added that in a week our lesson would be held in the fresh air. We were going camping. It was so exciting. None of the teachers gave us such amusing lessons. At that time, I even felt that I liked learning. A week later, our class went into the Forest National Reserve. During the hike, the teacher told us various interesting things about plants and animals. It was really fascinating. For example, you knew that mammals have red blood, insects have yellow blood, and lobsters have blue blood. Awesome, right? When we had gone far enough and were hungry, someone suggested to make a pit stop. And only then did a huge problem come to light. We forgot all the food at school. Adam screamed, "We're dead! We'll all starve!" My friend wasn't the brightest bulb in the chandelier.
A single rock.
But then I remembered that we didn't have any equipment for it. I guess I wasn't really bright either.
Destroy enemies.
Miss Murphy said that we could easily make do with mushrooms and berries.
What the fuck is that?
You must remember that half of them were poisonous, and the nearest hospital was several kilometers away. What should we do?
Craft 7 weapons. Damn.
Use the knowledge you get at science class. The teacher replied. She showed us
Ja,
what
men det är
berries
typ
to
en
pick. Then
tråkig jävla
Adam
fest.
and asked, "Do you still think that natural science will not be useful
Fun.
in life?" And then we realized that she had arranged all of this for us on purpose.
Craft
So that we
all
understood
on
that our
Jugends.
lessons were very
I Jugends
practical.
vet jag
Teacher, we
inte
returned from the hike,
vad
tired
det
and
är.
happy. But as soon as we got to school, Adam's cousin called. "Where have you
Vi tar
been?
det
I
då.
can't reach you," he said. We told him about
Vad
going
är det då?
camping with our new teacher. Apparently, the phone didn't pick up a signal there.
Extra ammo
He
är
got
det.
suddenly scared and said, "Get out of
Okej,
here.
så det var den.
Teacher is insane. I sent you proof by email." We quickly turned on the computer and read what the
Vad är det
cousin
här?
found out about Miss Murphy. It turned out that many years ago, she had some kind of trauma and ended up in a psychiatric hospital. She was discharged a year later.
Där är bron.
With a diagnosis of schizophrenia. Of course, she hid it, but when the authorities of the school where she worked found out that the teacher was crazy, she was immediately fired. That's why she had to move to another state. Adam and I looked at each other in surprise. Now everything fell into place. Both the fact that Miss Murphy was talking to herself and her hobbies. But you know what? I didn't care that she had problems with her head, but her lessons were real adventures. I shared my thoughts with Adam, and he said, "I agree. Miss Murphy is cool. Now I want to have schizophrenia too." I told him that idiots didn't have schizophrenia. We laughed and ran home. The next day, as usual, we had a science lesson. The teacher offered us a new experiment to grow a live chicken from an egg. It was really exciting. But suddenly, the principal came into the classroom. He was very angry and called Miss Murphy to his office. Adam and I were wary. Had he discovered our teacher's secret? And then it hit me. "Adam, I hope you didn't forget to turn off the computer we were reading about Miss Murphy on yesterday," I asked my friend. Adam went bug-eyed and got scared. So it was just as I thought. The idiot left the computer on, and in the morning, everyone had read the truth about our teacher. Of course, she was fired. We ran to the principal and begged for Miss Murphy to be left at the school. Her lessons were so interesting, but the principal refused us. He said that people with mental disabilities couldn't work with children. And you know what? I don't agree with him. It seems
What
to
is
me
up with
that
Sunday?
all the greatest things in the
Friday?
world were done by
totally.
men.
The sheep was
Writer
great.
Ernest
By the
Hemingway,
way,
President
sweet.
Abraham Lincoln,
Love the
artist
accent.
Vincent van
What's your
Gogh,
point?
scientist Alfred Nobel. All of these people had problems with their
She's
heads,
not like
but
us,
that didn't
boss.
stop them from doing
Let's
great
face it,
things.
she can't build
Teacher
big
Miss
guns.
Murphy was
If she
also
could, she wouldn't have called me out of retirement.
Studying can be interesting, and
I should be the one building her.
especially since we'll be
Well, Friday is excellent in the field.
subscribe to the channel if you
Well, obvious. I mean, totally. I'm just saying. You know, think about it, boss.
Just show me what you made.
Sure. Step right up.
Beep beep.
Hi everyone, my name is Douglas.
What's all this?
Raise your hand
Know
if
your
you
enemy.
love juicy
It's what you
burgers.
always told me, boss.
Wow, so
This station
many
allows you to
of
look up
them.
information
It might
on
be
drones
hard
we've
to
encountered on the
believe. I hadn't
battlefield.
tried them until I
Grab a
was
drone icon,
16.
pull it out of the virtual
That's when
workstation,
something
and
happened
its
to me.
specs.
But my story isn't going to be about vegetarians and those who like to eat meat. It's about me.
Rotate the 3D model, or read up on the drone statistics in the windows to your left and right. When you're done, feel free to pull out another drone hologram, or put this one back in the table. This place stays online 24/7, so drop by anytime you're feeling thirsty for knowledge. I'll continue to update the database as we encounter more enemy drones.
Impressive stuff.
It's why you made me, boss.
My dad couldn't bear it and left when I was still a kid.
Ghost calls our old hover tanks ravelers. Gotta say, I admire the hard light shields and the heavy anti-air payload.
Those are definitely more missiles than our designs carry.
Probably double staggered magazines. They'd explode from friction unless you
Because
used.
they var ju nära.
You should have headhunted her for R&D, boss.
Yeah? Well, right now she's the one hunting heads.
Her own channel. She made videos as a vegetarian
Oj, oj.
trainer and encouraged people to give up
Åt fel håll.
Ghost really went all in modding her own drones. Hard light, custom firmware. She even gave them new names. Hey, I respect the taste.
I have shot down
Ghost.
Ghost calls this a phasm. Your garden variety ready.
Phasm. She's got a theme.
Yeah, zips ahead and pelt you with rare shots. Your repulsors chew them like popcorn. You got this.
Hey, Friday.
Sir?
Download Ghost's drone names from
Cage.
the research station for your battlefield reports. She resurrected them by version.
Do whatever,
Tack
boss.
Friday.
Under her coat of paint. Chassis still says Stark.
Jag kan inte ens gå. Jaha, nu kan jag. Hello Friday. Välkommen. Du är helt ny här.
Why didn't you tell me, sir?
Jag får slappa dig på kinden.
About?
Okej? Du står där. Jag kommer. Och sen bara back på dig. Okej? Okej? Varför har vi den här skiten här?
Silent.
Jag vill fucking släppa.
A silent partner.
Naturally,
Yeah.
she took me with her. We moved to a
With all due respect, sir, I must ask.
Jag
Do
är
you trust him?
house and I started going to a new school.
fucking snygg,
People
okej?
there were much kinder than those in a big city and made me feel welcome at once.
Ja, men.
After a few days, I became quite an attraction in my new school. Many students listened to my speeches
Ska vi
about
köra den
animal
här?
welfare with curiosity.
He's on a short leash.
Surprised, as I ate lunch, I brought
Of course.
I could not
No, you're
eat
right.
what was being given in the dining hall. So my mom put a special
Have a look at this, sir.
It turned out that none of my classmates had ever met a vegetarian.
Sir, I've programmed additional functionality into this globe interface that I hope you'll find useful.
Med blue så kan vi
Select either
köra.
Malibu or
Nej,
Shanghai
med
to
blue.
proceed.
Med blue.
When a location has multiple missions associated with it, selecting it will display a list
Fly
including optional
challenge.
missions and ones you've already completed.
Nice work, Friday.
I've also programmed
Hey.
several optional flight challenges that should help us test your
I
suit's
hate-
capabilities.
Good idea. Any new word from our ghost?
Nothing at the moment, sir.
Keep searching. In the meantime, I'll make sure I'm combat ready with these flight challenges.
Hey Douglas, Winston. He's an activist and a conservationist. It turned out my mom had already found some locals who shared her views. To be honest, I was still a little angry with her for the stupid thing she had done at the zoo. And now she was suddenly back at it. She found out there was a large factory in the town that made meat products, and she was planning to stop it with the help of her new friend. Of course, I supported her, but I felt she wasn't doing observation of nature was good, but doing strange things everyone around you would suffer from, it wasn't. So I started spending more time with Martha, which I liked a lot more.
Love it out one. För jag har inte gjort
One day,
någon
Martha
lura.
said that she would show me a real miracle and took me to a nature reserve nearby. I'd never been in the wild before, and I'd only ever seen animals on my tablet screen. Feeding real deer out of my hands felt incredible. How can you protect animals if you've never actually met them? Said Martha cheerfully. She was right.
Another party. Oh no, gonna get no, gonna get no, gonna get no, daddy. Oh no, gonna. Dominic, look another party. Oh no, gonna.
Burgers in the city. Of course, there was meat in them, so I immediately refused to eat them. Suit yourself, said Martha indifferently, and started to eat her juicy hamburger with a great appetite. I realized that I looked like a coward in her eyes at that moment. I really wanted her to think I was cool. That's why I decided that nothing terrible would happen if I ate one hamburger and boldly took a bite out of it. And you know what? It turned out to be delicious. The pickles were crispy, the smell of toasted buns reminded me of home and comfort, and the patty and hot sauce was something out of this world. I didn't even notice how I had eaten
this works.
a whole burger.
For this challenge, I've simulated a former Stark Industries weapons silo.
I remember this place.
Initiating flight test. Make us proud, sir.
That day was full of new impressions for me. I felt really happy. However, I was in for an unpleasant surprise at home. As soon as I walked in, my mom jumped on me. Douglas, he's making all this. How did you do that to the poor animals? I didn't know she was talking. Then she told me that her boyfriend Winston had seen me gobbling down on a burger with a patty earlier that day. She saw his eating tray, both her and the pork cow I had mercilessly devoured. At that moment, I felt guilty. However, I couldn't see what I had done to feel guilty for. Of course, I apologized to my mother, but I also started to doubt that she had as well. The next day, I went to school and I felt like Winston was following me everywhere so that he could snitch on me to my mom again. She blames me and I wanted to get
I'm getting the hang of this.
She spent the whole day trying to talk to me, but I stubbornly avoided her. I felt ashamed, but I couldn't help it. I thought my mother would find out about it straight away. Douglas, come on, tell me what's the As soon as I finished, I saw disappointment in her classmates' eyes. Of course, she didn't want to hear about what a coward I was. I let go, deciding that I could let Martha said sadly. I felt very hurt. Not because a girl had said that to me, but because she had been absolutely right. So far, I had only
Course is 50% complete. Keep it up. Move, sir. The timer is running.
She was celebrating a victory with Winston, and I suddenly realized that my mom simply liked acting crazy, and I wasn't going to pretend to give her sanity. So I openly said that I thought I had been adopted.
Time increased.
That's why, after all, I wanted to live the way I wanted to, and on. I decided that I would be Martha and Twin Brothers. Even if my mom didn't like it, I wanted to talk to Martha the next day. For some reason, she looked very angry and tell us what was going on.
Move, sir. The timer is running.
She just kept going away and after school, the same way that she ignored me. I told her I wouldn't let her go till I heard an answer.
We're not there yet. Try again.
To do with it, but Martha refused to listen to me and left. I got so angry with my mother. I wanted to tell her to stop messing up both my life and her own. However, when I got home, I saw her packing up. She looked scared and lost. I didn't understand what was going on.
Jag är Marlene.
Ja, du är blattarnas dotter.
Min far är bergen. Min mor är Medelhavets sol. Jag är Marlene, Alpernas dotter.
Ja, du är
I
blattarnas
always
dotter.
get asked if it's weird being an orphan, if I miss my parents. But what people don't understand is that I lost my parents when I was 3. I have little to no memories of them. My first memory is holding on to a caretaker's hand as I entered the orphanage I spent my childhood and early teenage years in. Hi there. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We greatly appreciate it. The orphanage was pretty dull. My everyday routine was too repetitive. I woke up, showered, had breakfast in the dining hall by myself, and then went to school. Breakfast and lunch were a drag. None of the boys in my dormitory talked to me, and if they did, they would just taunt me. Eat up, Scally, they'd say while tossing their half-eaten food onto my tray. They made fun of me for being a skinny guy, saying I looked like a skeleton.